When a woman smiles, her dress should smile too. My name is Mallowa Yvonne, president at Mauve. Why fashion? I find fashion as a way of speaking through myself, as a way of being heard through the society, and as a way of expressing my motives and all that. I also find fashion as a way that I can empower every woman in her life, like a career, her whatever every woman is going through in life. So born and raised in a family of 4, my mom and dad were the most supportive people I remember back then. And then what motivated me through, like, I wanted to know more about fashion. My mom was this mother who, any second my mom will have an event, she could come in and tell us, I'm having such a wedding, I want to pull through, I want to be seen. My mom was this mother who really wanted to be seen, like someone who is there, like, hey, everyone looking at her like, you're the one who dressed the most. But then I remember there's one thing she told me, and I live with it up to date. She kept telling me, when the inside is as beautiful as the outside, there's more to life. Because you cannot just dress up and look all nice and like your outside is just as ugly as everything.
Is done by none other than Mallowa Rufin.
Growing up, my favorite subjects, according to my favorite subject, which was history and biology, I really wanted to be either a lawyer or a journalist. But then there's one time I sat down and I was like, Dad, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna pursue this career, I'm gonna do something creative with the talent I have. I went back to the drawing board, looked at my skills. Back then I had very good skills in the art sector. I took art also as my unit. I had very good skills in the art sector. I loved history. History, I loved it most because of the time when culture, all about culture, it made me love history. I wanted to know which culture does this, which culture uses red, which culture goes purple, which culture goes brown, which culture puts up the pots and all that. It was really fascinating. Life after my teenage years, they are so, let me say, it comes like a cycle. They are the good sides, the bad sides where you face, but then you have to embrace yourself, put yourself together and get up, go get whatever you needed to be achieved in this world. I remember the funny bit of life was my first time I told my dad, Dad, I want to go through my fashion journey, I want to pursue my career. My dad was like, my dad was like, are you sure you're gonna do this? I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm gonna pull through. What my dad did, he made sure he funded me for my first level. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Getting into school, I only thought about fashion being like a place where you just sketch things and you don't bring them into reality. I was forced to bring whatever I sketched down into reality. And that was the most, like, I couldn't. I got my skirt done, and the first impression my dad, when I took it home, my dad was like, yeah, you can do it, my daughter. I think that motivation really pulled me through. And I was like, if my dad has believed in me, why am I not to believe in myself? I can do this. And that's what keeps me going. As a young millennial, a parent support is very key, in that you don't expect anyone to fund your projects, you don't expect anyone to ever motivate you like a mom's motivation and all that. As a parent, I feel like supporting, putting in money, putting in, flights, getting visas for the youngsters, it's a plus for everyone who's like pursuing his or her goals. And I thank God for my dad, who was able to pull through until like I graduated, I finished my levels, and I started my own company. How I got to know my fashion school was through online. I was busy scrolling as I looked down through my phone. Then something came up, Markensall School of Fashion and Design. I looked at what they entail, what they cover and all that. At first I saw art there. I was like, lucky. That's lucky. I'm so lucky because this place is catering for whatever I'm so passionate about. My first day in school was in a meeting where the teachers were asking, where do you see yourself in the 5 years to come? Where do you see yourself in the 10 years to come? As a first year, you'll be fascinated, I'm telling you, because you'll be like, I'm seeing myself as a big brand in the next 5 years. I'm seeing myself getting over Louis Vuitton, getting over all the designers and all that. But then after some time, after some period you're in school, you're like, that was a wrong dream at first, because I could see myself in the next 5 years as maybe someone who is outsourcing garments from making her own prints, making the all that. My brand name is Mauve. Mauve is a color. Mauve is a shade of purple shade and a purple and a pink shade. My dream came about when I was young. I was in school, seated, answering questions, and my voice was never heard in any way. You know that when you struggle raising up your hand, you're not being chosen, raising up your hand again, someone else from the back, raising up your hand, and I was like, what will I do for my voice to ever speak and make sense into the society? So I sat down, having my career journey through fashion, my schooling and all that. I sat down, had to have a brand called Mauve. My brand Mauve, we focus majorly on women aged 21 to 45 years old. Inspiration about the mauve color, my mother. I remember when I was young, my mother used to issue everyone with a color. Yours would be red, yours would be orange, yours would be blue, green and all that. So mine happened to be purple. Anything my mom used to go buy and come back with it was purple. A putty, a seat, pencil, rubber, hairband, clothes, they were all purple. So like I grew up like having that passion, like when I have anything in life, I'm gonna do different purple of shades. I got my color inspiration from my mother, and of which that same color I picked it because I wanted it to represent femininity, divinity, and like confidence. I also chose purple because we as Mauve brand, we happen to manipulate lots of fabrics, and purple works a lot with creativity. So I went for purple and Mauve.